Yeah, our topic for today is all about Minecraft. We've talked about doing this show almost the first month.
Yeah.
And it was kind of one of those emergency shows that, if Mike can't make it for any reason, this is what me and Grover would do. And it seems like every time that comes up, there's one reason or the other, it doesn't really work out that way. So here we are, we're finally at it, and we're probably completely underprepared. And watch them have a major Minecraft announcement in the next couple of weeks. Because they are about due for the next version. Yeah, where to even start with Minecraft, really?
Minecraft is made by Marcus Parkinson, as most people know. That's Notch. And he actually was just making Minecraft as another one of his little projects. And he really never thought that it would turn to anything. And lo and behold, a lot of people actually wanted to play it when he first showed it off. And I had just been playing for about a month when it actually exploded, and it showed up on Pt2 website. They talked about the little Minecraft game that people were getting addicted to. And I remember Notch said that he went to work that day, and it was getting popular then too, and it was still not that much. And he was checking his account. He had $1,000 in there. And he's like, oh, that's good. And that's the first $1,000 he'd made off the game. He's like, that's fantastic. That'll help with my finances. And he went to sleep, and when he woke up the next day, he couldn't access his account. And he called PayPal to ask why he couldn't access his account. And they said, because there's like $100,000 in there overnight.
I heard it was more than that.
That's when they locked it down. That's all they knew that was in there at that point.
Yeah,
and there was like a couple $100,000 more in pending. So when it finally unlocked, I think he had like roughly $500,000. Within a 12-hour period, Notch basically quit his job, and Mojang was born.
And it's one of those seriously fairy tale Cinderella things going on as far as game developers are concerned. And the strangest thing is, it probably couldn't happen to a better person all in all, because he has never let the success get to him.
Notch is giving away most of the money he's making now.
Well, even the money he doesn't, he puts right back into either projects or other people's projects.
Yeah, or other people's. I think if you go to any Kickstarter game, you have a very high chance, if it's a really good game, Notch funds it.
And anytime you see one of those humble indie bundles, him and some of the other big leagues will actually have a bidding war.
That Mojang is going on right now. Yeah. Final day. Right now.
Final day, so we're basically only talking to the chat here. It's not something we can save for the show, but yeah, Notch is from Sweden, and him along with a couple other people that he worked with. Some of them were graphics artists, and there was, of course, Daniel C418 Rosenfeld, and he's become something of a minor music celebrity himself thanks to his minimalistic soundtrack. His minimalistic soundtrack work on Minecraft. Kotaku even voted the Minecraft soundtrack as one of the top soundtracks of 2011. So there.
It's a very good soundtrack.
But there was only a very few people that had anything to do with the early builds of Minecraft. But as he built the office, there was more and more people that showed up, and I think he's moved. This is his third move, I think.
Yeah, this is the third and final move.
Bigger, but I don't think his team has.
No, their team's getting bigger.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, the Minecraft crew has 5 people now after Notch left, because Notch does his space game. There's a humongous rumor for the first 10 hours of Mojang that if you paid for the Mojang, you probably get a prototype of the space game. And there was a $50,000 surge with an hour, and Notch came on and said that you're not getting the space game prototype. Don't think about it. And
the space game would be 0 times 10C.
Exactly.
And we can't forget either that he has also made Scrolls in between there. That's the one that he got in trouble with Bethesda, because it came about the same time that Skyrim did, and there was a whole stupid lawsuit because Scrolls was trademarked by Elder Scrolls developer Bethesda, and kind of makes you scratch your head that, what's this got to do with each other?
Yeah. I remember I was quite pissed. My God, Bethesda got so much backlash from it, but then Notch stopped it. He was like, it happens. It's business. Do not punish the developers for what their mother company's doing. They can't help it.
It's more about ZeniMax than it was Bethesda, because ZeniMax owns Bethesda. Yeah. So the settlement was completed last spring.
Yep.
That allowed Mojang to continue to go ahead and use the Scrolls. Yeah, there was a part that Notch and his crew even challenged Bethesda's team to a Quake 3 tournament to decide the naming dispute.
I remembered that. And they never got a response.
That's classic. Kind of one of those important points in Minecraft history, even though it's not even Minecraft related. So yeah, maybe we should back up a little bit. Explain
go back to
Minecraft if that's possible.
Imagine Earth as Minecraft. Go ahead and make Earth into little blocks. And we're going to pick up those blocks and we're going to move them around. And if you wanted to, you could take the whole Earth and rearrange it into something else, as you would in a sandbox. This is Minecraft. The only thing that you can't move around in Minecraft is the bedrock area. That's because that supports the entire world.
You have to have a cap somewhere or you'll just keep going.
Yeah, Minecraft, for how crappy it looks, according to some people, to me it looks very retro and I enjoy it. It is incredibly computer intensive. I mean, you wouldn't believe it until you play it.
Because there is a lot going on despite the fact that it looks like a very simple game, and even the retro look of it. Part part of that was simply because, these are not graphic designers, these are not animators or anything like that. These are video game programmers. But I think it's actually something that helped the game. I don't think Minecraft would have been as easy to pick up or as interesting if it had really good graphics, because it would have been harder to figure out what you were doing, what you were looking at without that block look. The block look simplifies things. Not to say...
Of course, the players, the fans made the texture packs to look better. If you're looking at the stream right now, you're going to be seeing the Sortex texture pack, which makes it look a lot better. But, I still get tired of a texture pack and go back to the original at times just to remember.
And I think the look is also something that made it somewhat successful because it came out in an era where retro was making a very big comeback. I mean, it has been for most of the last decade, but the latter half of it was really making a comeback, and indie games was, like you said, they were getting really popular as well.
I think Minecraft was the main reason that indie games did explode as they did, because they're like, hey, we don't need a publisher to deal these to make our game. You're starting to see that in other places too, like the writing sector. They're starting to say, hey, we don't have to listen to these publisher assholes, we can just make our own book and self-publish.
That's another thing. The way games have been advertised has been changed by Minecraft. Word of mouth has always been powerful since as far back as the old Apple IIc and NES and Atari days, but nothing like Minecraft. Minecraft's entire existence has almost come exclusively from word of mouth.
Yeah.
To the point that it's made celebrities out of a lot of the people that jumped on the bandwagon early, like Yogscast and Captain Sparkles.
Yogscast,
Sky Does Minecraft, and all of those.
BOO, Generic B, I mean, we just go on and on. Archmake Malik.
Plus there's podcasts devoted to it, there's YouTube channels that are devoted to it, and not just by means of, gameplay of Let's Plays and stuff like that, but people doing animations, people doing songs, people doing tributes, people just having discussions about the changes in Minecraft. And they're getting millions and millions of views.
I know, crazy amounts of views.
So that's been over 9 million! Okay, that was bad. Minecraft games sold in a short period of time. Minecraft has actually been in a alpha stage and a beta stage over the last few years, but publicly released on the PC May 17th, 2009 as an alpha, and yes, November 18th, 2011 as official. Plus it also has a Android release, an iOS release, a Xbox 360 release,
and a 360 release,
Xbox Live. Most recently now is on the Raspberry Pi. So it's getting around in multiple variations too.
I know, I'm waiting for it to be on PlayStation 3 or just PlayStation 4 now, because my nieces and nephews desperately want to play it. They can't because they don't have a computer and they only have a PS3.
I don't know if the console is anything like the PS3, the PC version, simply because I'm not even going into the mod territory. It just seems in my mind that it would be so much more limited, if nothing else but because of the hard drive limitations. Because Minecraft uses this architecture that it is as big as your computer can handle it, and actually bigger. That I think they stated that what the code can actually handle is like 4 times the actual kilometers of Earth. Did I hear that right back in the day? And it may be more than that.
Way more than that.
And we're just talking surface volume. Keep in mind, you can build up and you can dig down. So it is ridiculously huge how big.
Take Jupiter's orbit and put a flat Minecraft world land area in the middle, all around Jupiter's orbit. That's as far as Minecraft will go.
Okay, I do remember that. But that is a lot of territory. To the point, guys, I don't think anybody's actually tried that. It's only theoretic.
Yeah, it's theoretic. They've done it using a computer that did nothing but that, I think.
Now, there's plenty of servers out there that have gone through great lengths to see how big they can make it. And, of course, there's some servers that are just naturally expanding that large because of, well, not that large, but large because of the number of players that play on it.
Yeah, I've seen Minecraft maps that are 32 gigabytes, and they're still not that big. Like the one that makes the entire world. It makes the entire world. That was the 32 gigabyte one.
I was wondering if anybody actually ever tried that or not. I haven't seen anything.
I remember running around on that world, and it was insanity. I just got tired of it because I got in the ocean and got on the boat, and...
Well, it would take forever.
I went, and like an hour later, I was like, okay, I'm in the middle of the ocean, I'm done.
Because it would probably take you at least 30 minutes just to reach from Florida to the Florida Keys. So you can imagine going across the Atlantic or the Pacific, especially the Pacific. Ridiculous. There are some servers out there. Some direct everything toward just these gigantic building a world. Some are just build whatever you want. There's some that are RPG servers. There's ones that is trying to recreate the entirety of the World of Warcraft universe on it.
I know that one. I've been on there before.
There's all sorts of great server stuff out there, and that's part of the Minecraft world that I've never been a part of because because of my internet situation. Every time I try to jump on the Neil and Grover's servers, I seem to crash their servers.
It does seem like that.
But
we've tried everything possible to make it so it's not so stressful and stuff, and it just seems like when we do that, it crashes us instead. I did go on a server where they were doing nothing but building Star Trek spaceships. I went back there recently, and they have built every single Star Trek ship, and they're built the shuttles, and now they're building prototypes of Star Trek ships that they made but never put in any of the shows and stuff, and it's quite amazing. I got lost in the Star Trek Enterprise.
Scaled down, but some of them I understand are to scale. Matter of fact, there's a very famous video from back in the early days of Minecraft about somebody that was using a CAD program to basically import a 3D Max file, I think it was, into Minecraft so he could recreate the next generation version of the Enterprise.
Yeah, 1x1 scale.
Because that's what he does. He's been a part of the mod communities and deconstruction communities for all sorts of games. He's part of the community that's taking apart Final Fantasy VII bit by bit.
Oh,
so it can be constructed or modified as people would like them to. Yeah, it was only the frame. The rest of it he was doing by hand.
I was inside that ship, and I explored it for at least 2 hours, and I still didn't find everything, and I got completely lost at one point.
I can imagine. It's huge.
It's just unbelievably huge. And only one bathroom.
That's awkward, considering how many people are probably on that thing.
And it was one of the first times that I had a texture pack forced on me when I went in, which at first I was annoyed, but then I saw that without the texture pack, it would look horrible.
Yeah, because they were probably using mining ore and stuff like that I tend to use for my construction materials too, to add a little more depth to the design. But anyway.
And this all came from the Classic. And not a lot of people played Classic at first. I will say it, I will always admit it, I pirated Minecraft when I first got it. And most people were like, you cheap
blankety blank.
Say something like that. And I even admitted it to Notch, because at that point Notch was still like sitting in his chat room and doing all his coding and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna pirate this, and if I like it, alright. Yeah, and he was just like, dude, I think you should pirate it first, and if you like it, buy it. And someone in the chat room said, I give you 1 hour and you'll become so addicted that you will have to buy it because you can't stand the glitches that are in the pirated version. And you were right.
Now, ironically, Mike had played this long before I'd ever heard of it, but it was, I think it's like the 4K version of it, is basically this very limited space, and it's got this ramp layout, and if you walk to the sides, you fall off to the sides, because it's basically only loading in about the size of maybe 1 to 4 chunks of the more modern Minecraft, and you could build anything that you wanted out of the limited set. I think they had early versions of like the different colors of material, plus you had the rock and the stone and everything. There was no tools. It was basically creative mode. There was nothing to kill you. There was no health bar or anything like that. He played it for a while. He said he made an airship and a couple of things like that with some other people that he knew at the time, but that was kind of the end of it, and that's how he's seen Minecraft until he started seeing more recent videos and stuff. That is the Minecraft he thought everybody was playing, and he didn't quite get it. But he still does not have Minecraft,
yeah.
so that's why we're doing the show without him around, is because he has no experience with Minecraft, except for that early. As for me, mine was about a year later, and it was somewhere in between the big blow-up. I'd heard of it from other people, but it hadn't turned into the gigantic monstrosity yet. It was still very, oh, this is cool, you should check this out. But it wasn't that everybody in the neighborhood had heard it yet. And I fell in love with it very quickly. Like, did what everybody else did. It was just learning how to survive those first few nights. And unlike a lot of people, I didn't use wikis. I didn't use tutorial videos or anything. So everything that I did early on, I learned either from hearsay or from doing it myself. So that kind of added to the experience, and I've never been quite able to recapture no matter how many times I restart, because it's always about efficiency now. I've kind of ruined the
it's
whole
never going to be like it was
ambience.
the first time I started.
Yeah, I've ruined the
Neil actually had the funniest start ever. He was just like, dude, this game is horrible. And I thought, maybe it was just because how it looked and everything. And I finally went over to his house to see what was wrong. And he had spawned in the most horrible place possible, in a winter wonderland, but it had no trees anywhere. I mean, anywhere. He couldn't find any trees, so he couldn't build anything. And so for like a week, he was living in a dirt hut, surviving in the middle of a frozen lake. And that was Minecraft for him when he first started. After I had him make a new world, and it was a nice grassy world with trees and everything, his view on it was certainly way different. But at first, I could just see that I started in a snow world too, but my world was gorgeous and had trees, and I flourished. And Neil spent a week living in a dirt area in the middle of a frozen lake. I just feel so bad now every time I think about it. He had the worst start ever.
Yeah, I actually had to go looking for a snow world. I don't know how many I made before I finally picked one up. Now, all that's changed now. It's all about biomes. But back in the day, it was just basically you had the basic world and you had a snow world, and that was it. And then eventually they merged the two. I guess that was so popular, that's where the rest of the biomes came from, which is a fantastic fantastic idea. It's added so much life to the game. Variety. Diversity.
Yeah,
So if you're the one that got Neil to get into it, who showed you first?
I used Stumble Upon, and it took me to Minecraft. And I was like, what's this? And that's how it began it for me. I am almost certain that I stumbled upon. I remember when we first started playing on servers and stuff, me and Neil, we built our first server, and it was just an atrocity of awesomeness. We had such a blast.
I was always kind of more of a builder sort. I enjoy the whole survival mode, which is what basic Minecraft was for a long time until they came out with the update to actually divide the two, one into adventure mode, survival mode, however you want to mention that, and then one into creative. But I was actually using cheat mods, like too many items and single player commands, which I'll actually talk about the mods here in a little bit, to make my own creative mode before there was a creative mode, so I could actually build stuff. And a lot of times I was using them even before then. I remember I made an entire mall, and I wonder if I still have that one. This was all attached to the same map that has that gigantic pyramid made of glass that I was doing legitimately. I was trying to make a pyramid of glass that reached from the very top of the screen. This is before they upgraded the height of the maps, of course, too, all the way to the lowest point of the Minecraft map. I never finished it. I think the entirety from the top to sea level is done, but you know,
I remember that. Show me that. You didn't have shift to stop yourself from falling either.
No, there was no shift for that either. No.
Me and Nils' first major project was on our first map. We decided we were going to build a gigantic pyramid, just like you, but it was going to have an troll phase at the bottom, and we're going to call it the troll phase pyramid. And it was going to be glass, just like that. And we did use dynamite to blow out the area. It took us 5 days of non-stop, 8 hours a day, just blowing TNT up. It was just, that's all you heard was you go on our server and you just hear it blowing up constantly.
I don't remember exactly when I started on my ginormous city island thing that is not even percentage-wise complete. Matter of fact, I should probably find the picture of what I've done so far, used with Cartographer G, showing it to the scale that I have, which is still the wrong scale. I'm about half size too small. And then show the rest of the island that I still have to go. So I could probably retire in old age and still not have this thing done. So it's going to keep me busy for a very, very long time.
It would be in the list of the 8 wonders of the Minecraft worlds.
It'll be impressive to look at in some ways. It's got this problem of, because I keep trying to fix the scale, the buildings I started off with are super tiny, and the further I get, the bigger the buildings are getting.
Yeah, it gets worse and worse.
It's looking a little off in that respect, but I've been really happy with how things have been turning out all in all. But, I don't really do much more than working on my city. It's the thing that's always brought me back, because it feels like I have a goal doing that. It's not just, I wonder what's new with Minecraft this week. It's, I wonder what I can do with the city this week to see how much further I can get. So that's what works for me. I'm a builder. I'm not the sort that enjoys the survival mode.
I always go underground and I'm putting all kinds of stuff together, and I don't even use most of the stuff I make. I always call Neil the architect because he's the one that builds our stuff. He's fantastic at it. He is the architect. If it wasn't for Neil, everything in our server would be butt ugly. I mean, I'm serious as a heart attack because I have the architect skills and beautification skills of a snail. I am just the person that gathers resources, builds stuff, and then simplifies stuff. It's like Bill Gates says, he hires lazy people, but he gives them really hard tasks because he knows that they will do everything possible to make it easier. So lazy people find ways to make harder things easier to do.
We're not really sitting down and discussing exactly what Minecraft is, but then again, everybody already knows, even if they've never played before, they've heard of Minecraft, they kind of know all about the punching the trees and the building materials and the surviving against creepers and everything. There are certain aspects that probably need to be mentioned, like the redstone. The redstone changed a lot in Minecraft of how it worked. It wasn't just about running around seeing what materials you can get to upgrade yourself. It was now about making interesting machinery. When you stepped on a pad, your door would open for you so you could walk on through. You could set up traps for enemies so that when they walked in certain places, they'd fall into a pit or something like that. And that was the early stuff. Now they've got these computers, these calculators, these clocks. They've got LCD screens. They've got animated objects like faces. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff some of these people have come up with. There's one guy that has a computer that has the processing power of an Atari 2600 built out of Minecraft. It is mind-blowing. Granted, it's an Atari 2600, but, still.
Yeah, it's like Minecraft was in the 1800s before Redstone, and then the Redstone ushered it into the Industrial Age. Then you have the mods, too, and the mods just add even more crazier stuff, like Feed the Beast, my god, Tekken.
Bucket, Voxel Sniper, they do all sorts of stuff to allow you to change the look of a place, as well as, like Feed the Beast. It is a collection of mods from all over the place, and some of the mods range from really tiny to really spectacular big. I mean, you've got stuff like Optifine, which is for balancing resources to make Minecraft run better and add support for stuff like those fantastic HD textures features that I have a hard time living without these days. You got stuff like Better Than Wolves, which is full of mechanical goodies like water wheels and windmills and stuff like that. The single-player commands I mentioned earlier is like creative mode before there was one, so there's bookmarkable teleports and copy-paste, which is absolutely fantastic when you're doing some of the stuff that I'm doing. You've got Balkan weapons, which adds a ton of melee and firearms. You've got Ray's mini-map, which puts one of those little maps in the corner so you can always tell where you're out, or complete with coordinates. There's trains, there's planes, there's airships, there's portal guns, from Portal. There's slopes, there's little clay soldiers, there's buildcraft and industrial craft. There's one about these little anime maids that will follow you around like servants. There's just so many ridiculous things that people have done.
I am desperately waiting for the ultimate pack because we just ran out of things to do for me, or I just got kind of burned out and had to take a break. And it happens. We usually go at it for like 2 months straight, and then we'd take like a 3-month break, and then we'd go back to it.
This is a whole other side to Minecraft that people enjoy, and that's the adventure maps and the arena game type stuff. So you've got board games, deathmatch games, and they're different types. Some of them are, if you step on a platform, it will automatically fall. There's a Bomberman clone where you're setting the dynamite and letting it explode and trying to kill off the other players. There's several very popular knockoffs of the Hunger Games where you're given this really elaborate map and your spawn points are at various points and you go and kill each other and you try to find all the hidden items around. Plus the adventure maps themselves. So you got stuff like parkour maps where you're doing these jumps. You've got some that have stories to them. There's puzzles, and the more that Minecraft adds, the bigger and better all of this stuff gets. Because this latest, what do they call it? The control box? That's not right. There's a box that holds commands to the game. It's perfect for this adventure map stuff because you can program it to activate certain things, whether it's warping from one zone to the other or causing things to happen that wouldn't normally happen with the game physics. It's even keeping track of how many kills and what scores and stuff like that. So all of this is, thank you. Command block. Thank you, Grim. There's only 2 notes I have here that I haven't covered.
What are those?
And that was the Columbia Grammar School in New York that uses Minecraft in a classroom to actually teach kids. So he devises these challenges and projects for the kids to figure out on their own and do themselves. And apparently it's done amazing thing. And it's gotten probably other classes since then, because this was like 2011. And I imagine it's
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And a lot of this information that I've gotten from has come from the Minecraft documentary called Minecraft: The Story of Mojang, which you can pick up. It just came out this last December. And for anybody that really loves Minecraft or very interested in the video game business at that, it's a very good little film. So if you can find that somewhere, I don't know if like Netflix has it or anything like that, but you can pick it up on twoplayerproductions.com. That's 2 with a 2, not spelled out. And there's also that Minecon. It was first held in Bellevue, Washington in 2010, and it was held in Vegas the year after that, and then recently in Disneyland Paris in 2012. And every year they have like 5,000 people show up. They have stuff they give away, probably synonymous with Minecon at this point. Everybody that goes to Minecon gets a free cape that they can use in-game. And it's just nice to see that the community around Minecraft is not only just huge for the sake of being huge and successful, it is one of the most diverse communities I've ever seen. It doesn't matter what race, what gender, what your age is, what your background is, what kind of lifestyle you live. There's somebody from every walk of life. Casual gamers, there's hardcore gamers, there's everybody. Now that's not to say that Minecraft is universal and everybody loves it. There's a lot of people that tried it, they don't like it, and that's cool. But the majority that try it out and actually give it a decent, honest chance, they're either still playing it or they're glad that they did have the experiences they did with it, which is, you can't say more about a game.
Yeah.
If that's the way you can walk away from any game, then it's done its job. It's made its money.
You played it and it was awesome, and you had your time with it. I mean, it's kind of weird. I can never have the feelings that I had when I first played it for the first time. I got that back for a while when I was playing Feed the Beast, but once again, it's faded it out. I'm used to the game and it's back to like it was. And they're still coming out with more stuff. I mean, I know it'll be sooner or later. Mo creatures will come to Feed the Beast. It's just a matter of time.
Interesting little thing in itself of how many just different animals and monsters and stuff that they add to it.
Yeah, it's very crazy. I love it.
And there's more than one, as I understand it, Pokemon mods out there that are, one of which even allows you to actually battle the Pokemon against each other. I'm kind of wondering where
that's awesome.
And that in itself is another reason why Minecraft is so big and popular, is because not only all these modders making all of this stuff for Minecraft, you have the Minecraft team themselves constantly upgrading, updating, making new things for it. You don't see that very often in a lot of games, because usually when it's shipped, anything extra than that is either fixes, a form of DLC that you either have them charge for or just add to keep people playing, or it's an expansion pack that you outright buy separate. Minecraft has no intention whatsoever of doing that sort of thing. They're just updating for the sake of everybody's gotten used to the fact that they update so often. often, and there will come a day when Minecraft's no longer updated, and that's going to be a very strange and disheartening day. But at the time,
it's going to be a blessing and a curse.
It will be a blessing.
It'll be a blessing for the people that do coding
too. It could look like Skyrim and have absolutely everything buildable in the universe, and if they quit, then I'd still be disappointed.
The modders. The modders are the ones that always, they're doing stuff, and when they update, it breaks everything they did for the past month. They're going to be like, yes! And then they're going to be like, no! At the same time.
When it does actually stop, and there's been a lot of clones Minecraft, there's been a lot of games that's been purported, whether it's from their own mouth or from somebody else comparing them, that, they're Minecraft clones. Because people said that about Terraria, and I can kind of see it, but I can compare it to Castlevania just as easily. What happens when Minecraft is gone? Do you think the modding community is going to continue just holding its own? Or do you think somebody's going to up the ante and make some sort of spiritual successor, some sort of Minecraft 2?
I think that they're just going to keep going on it for a while now. I don't ever see Minecraft falling apart. I see it going on for at least another 2.5 years, and then the modders are going to keep that game afloat for decades.
Well, that's part of the blessing about how the graphics are retro. They aren't going to age any worse than they already are.
Yeah, you can't
go just get better from here. So, any closing statements? Because I'm pretty sure we got a show here.
Not much other than Minecraft is still chugging along. I'm interested to see if it'll actually reach like 15 million cells.
I would not doubt it in the least. Now, how long it'll take to get there, I don't know. But I know I'll be playing Minecraft for a long time. Even if it never had another update, I would still be working on this city. I don't see myself stopping it unless either I absolutely get burnt out on it, or if something happens to the city that damages the file and my backup is too far back for me to want to work on it anymore, that sort of thing. I see myself playing Minecraft until I'm on my deathbed.
Probably. I see the same thing for me. Like I said, even if they stop producing right now, I know the modders would go nuts. There would be a surge of modding because they know that their code is never going to be changed by updates or anything.
That's true.
And that's all I got.
I see Minecraft living on for a long time. It may kind of be out of the popular conscience after a while. Though I have a strange feeling that if nothing else, the Creeper is going to be right up there with the likes of Mario and Sonic and Master Chief. I think it's like to be stuck there in our minds as part of video gaming for the next
forever
years. Like I said, that's not a bad place to be for some Swedish fellow that had no dreams of becoming big. He just wanted to make games that he enjoyed himself, and overnight became a success. And what is he doing? He's doing the same thing he did back then. He hasn't changed.
He went right back to making games.
Yeah.
He actually said Minecraft hindered him. He hindered him from making games. He had to quit Minecraft. He had to sever himself from his dream to keep going.
Because he has other ideas, and you don't want to get stuck for just one thing. I guess that's our show for this week. Join us every Monday on YouTube for the official video uploads. Join us every Saturday afternoon for the Twitch TV cast of PrinnyCast. But you can get us at Twitter at PrinnyCast. Our email is prinnycast@gmail.com. Like I said, don't forget to check out Grover's channel at PCGOTW, which is basically initials for PrinnyCast Game of the Week. And, he doesn't do Game of the Weeks anymore, but he doesn't need to. He's giving you hours and hours every day on stream, and most of those are showing up on YouTube. So you've got more footage now than you did back then. So I don't think there's any complaints about that. And to remind, that's PrinnyCast_Grover on Twitch TV.
Game of the Week may come back. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to work it out.
I see. And hopefully, speaking of things coming back, we'll have Mike back. And I hope everybody enjoyed Royal on last week. We had a blast with him. So it's likely not going to be our only guest host. Even if all of us are here, we may have a fourth person come in and talk with us. We've been talking about this for a long time.
We've got some other people that we want to come. They're just kind of quiet. They're quiet people, so we have to coax them a little more before threaten them. Blackmail them.
And a few of them we just actually haven't outright asked yet. It's in our heads, but
But I do got to remind you guys that we also need our viewers to help us out too, because word of mouth is a major way. We can advertise until our faces turn blue, and we have done this before. I've done it to the point that I just want to go curl up in bed and curl up in a fetal position. Going to a place and talking about your product that you make and saying how awesome it is just a really turn off to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys like us and tell some of your family, maybe tell some friends, maybe blog at Twitter or something, that'd be great.
Indeed.
Yes, that is a plea.
But yeah, that's our show, so I guess we'll see you all next week.
See you next time.